evening, YouTube. This is Silent Citadel, and tonight I'd like to do a Q&A video, which I've never done before. This will be my 99th video. I've been making them for over a year, and I always said to myself that if I was making videos for that long, that I would endeavor to do some kind of question and answer video. So here it is. I have a lot of questions people have given me, so I'm going to kind of try to go through them. Purple Willow Art asked me, she said, I can see a tattoo on your forearm, but it's always facing away from the camera, making it difficult to tell what it is. What is it? And hopefully you can see. So yeah, it's a Celtic sea dragon, and this is actually covering up here. See his little face. When I was 13, I tattooed Sid Vicious from the Sex Pistols. I tattooed his name onto my arm, so I covered it up with this. And my only other tattoo is there. Let's see. Where Freak asked me a number of questions. One of them was, do you have any goals for your videos, or have you already achieved some of the goals you set? And I don't actually. I make these because I like to. I really like the people here. All of you guys are amazing, and I love watching videos. I felt like I should contribute something back. And this was a year ago. It was sound sculptures, and it got me really interested in making videos in the first place. And she's long gone. I miss her a lot. But her and Maria and a few other people there weren't very many people making videos, and I kind of felt like there was this little missing niche of art and weird stuff. Weird sciencey, nerdy stuff, and I kind of thought maybe I could fill that niche. So, this Eve of Shadow asked me, she said, I've taken you're a fan of animals, since in a previous videos you mentioned working in a vet hospital and what was my favorite animal. And my favorite animal is the sloth. I feel like the sloth is my power animal. I could move so slowly that moss grew on me, and just eat leaves and take naps all day. That sounds very nice. And they're really, really cute. Acacia Smith asked me if I was being sent to a desert island and I could only choose 3 books to take with me, what would they be? unabridged dictionary, because you'd never get tired of reading it. There would always be something new. And I don't think that a set of encyclopedias would count as one book, so an unabridged dictionary. A big compendium of fairy tales, because that's something else I don't think I could get tired of very easily. And a blank book to write it would be my third one. Yeah, I definitely want something to, even if I didn't have a pen, I could come up with something to make marks in a book. But I'd want to bring a blank one as well. Think I'm based God. Ask me why do I have so many rings? And it's because I like the way my hands look better with rings. And I just kind of started with one, and then I kept putting on more and more, and I couldn't decide which one I liked better, so I just put on another one, and then another one. And that kind of became the thing that I did. Alice in ASMR land asked me where I find inspiration for my art, and that's a really interesting question. A lot of people have asked me how I get my ideas, or what inspires me, or if I get artist's block. And most of the time I can always think of something to do. There's always like 15 projects that I want to do, and it just takes the will and the follow through to actually do them. But coming up with new ideas has never been an issue for me. Occasionally I'll get a little blocked, but then something will just it's like a light bulb goes on. It's like the dragon egg. I just kind of like saw the video of it, and I was like, I absolutely have to do that. And so I did. And I'll get an idea, and I just won't be able to shake it. I don't know, I guess is the answer to that one. Whispering Weaver asked me, what theories do I have for ASMR? And that's another really interesting question. My personal feeling is that it is an evolutionary device. It serves some function for bonding. If you were living in a cave long ago, and you're with your tribe, and everyone was safe and well-fed and warm and together and quiet, it might give you this feeling of blissful peace. And I think maybe that's where it comes from, is this sort of, it's like an added incentive for being safe and comforted. And I think that maybe where it comes from. I'm sure that it served some function in the distant past, but now it's just wonderful. I'm very interested to see what else science can tell us about it, because there's been so little study done on ASMR, but I feel like there could be a lot of scientific benefit gained from understanding more about why it works and how it works. I'm going to mispronounce your name, I'm so sorry. Lazaivan Hamek asked me what car I have, And it's funny, I don't actually know how to drive. I take the bus. My work gives me a free bus pass, and I get to see a lot of interesting characters. Since I grew up in this city where there's a really good bus system, I've never really felt like I needed to know. And my significant other has a car. We have a car in the household that we use, but I personally don't in general, and I don't know how to use it, even if I did have it at my disposal all the time. So, but we do have a boring silver Toyota Corolla. It's practical. It gets from point A to point B. That's all I can ask. Francesca asked me how I learned all the techniques I do when creating art, and was I schooled or self-taught? When did I start? Any details I felt like sharing? Well, actually I was a photographer for many years. I did a couple album covers and the cover to a book of poetry and a few other minor things. I had my own darkroom and a Pentax K1000 with 10 different lenses, filters, and I kept ignoring digital photography, and then one day somebody showed me how to do something in 5 minutes in Photoshop that took me 4 hours in a dark room, and I just kind of went, why am I even doing this? What am I doing with myself, you know? So after all that time learning how to do the technical stuff in photography, I felt like I had this skill that I could never use. So then I made a chess set out of industrial refuse that I found walking around just kind of lying on the street. I picked pieces of metal up, then I made them into a chess set. and that was it. And I just did other stuff. And I switch around a lot. I'll write or draw. I just kind of like to do everything. I can't really settle anymore. I feel like I want to know how to do everything. I love learning and changing techniques. And I did go do a little bit of, I went to a few classes at Pacific Northwest College of Art, but they were not for credit. I just took them for my own mental gratification. Moon Girl Gets Zapped asked me, well, why is it so awesome to live in Oregon like us? I don't know, but it is pretty awesome. All of Oregon is awesome. I mean, parts that are pretty, but it's so loud. But Portland, where I live, is wonderful. And I've tried to move to other places before, but this place just always calls me back. It's so beautiful. Let's see, Luchessa asked me my early memories of ASMR. When did I experience it and what triggers me the most? I guess I have this memory of being in first grade or something, maybe even younger, maybe kindergarten, and there was this boy named Bobby who would sit behind me and he would braid my hair, and all the other kids in the class thought it was really weird, but I would let him do it, and we didn't really hang out or talk outside of that. He would just sit behind me, like take a little clump of my hair and braid it, and it felt incredible. And I guess that was the first place that I really got tingles. And then I kind of forgot about it, and I know that it happened, but I can't think of any specific instances because there was one thing that stands out so much to me, and I guess it was just probably 6 or 7 years ago. I was working at a job, and I was sitting next to this glass pane, and the housekeeper would come in the evening, and she would take a spray bottle and she would spray the glass on the other side and then wipe it away, and I would just sit there paralyzed, and I would psych myself out. I would think, oh God, she's gonna see me like, I don't know, wigging out on her cleaning. I'm so weird, what is wrong with me? And I told my significant other, and he was like, yeah, that's pretty weird. So I thought maybe if I said somebody else, they would say, oh yeah, I know. No, he had no idea what I was talking about. And then on Boing Boing, not long after that, I saw a link to, actually, I guess it was a couple of years after that, I saw a link to our cherry pies miniature food videos, which if you haven't seen are incredible, but they're not ASMR videos per se, although they are a lot of people's gateway drug, like Bob Ross. And so I watched some of those, and I was like completely hooked. And then the recommended videos, I think, was Sound Sculptures. And then from there, I just kind of found out about the rest of the community. She also mentioned she lives in Germany, and she wanted to make sure that I was okay from the hurricane. Yes, I live on the West Coast. I am far out of the path of that. I am sitting on top of one of the largest and most dangerous fault lines in the world, and I'm right down the road from Mount St. Helens, which is a semi-active volcano, but we don't get hurricanes, so that's good. Anyway, Jess asked me how I feel about transgendered folks, and she said she'd be curious to hear what I have to say. I know that might be a kind of a hot topic, especially in a community where we don't normally talk about this sort of thing, but I think that the equality of the lesbian, gay, bi, trans, queer community is really important. I'm half gay myself, and I do have a male partner and a son, but I also do like women, and I have been comfortable with that for many years. But I live in a place where it's very liberal, and there's a lot of acceptance, and I kind of get spoiled, and I forget how deprived people are of their rights. In parts of Africa, you can be killed for being homosexual, and in parts of the Middle East as well. And I imagine other places all around the world, just for being gay, you can get killed, which is completely absurd and not okay. Frankly, how people identify themselves is fine. You tell me what you want me to call you, I don't care. And the same, I would hope the same back. It's very much a golden rule. Treat others as you would want to be treated, and with respect and dignity and equality. Lauren asked me my opinion on self-expression through body modification and its acceptance in society. That's an interesting one, because in Portland we do have a lot of people with facial tattoos and neck tattoos, which is kind of a stigma. Personally, I think they're wonderful, I mean, tattoos in general, I think that a lot of tattoos themselves are pretty hideous, and people choose really terrible, terrible things to put on their bodies for their entire, I mean, you have to live with this for your entire life. I should talk. I tattooed Sid Vicious's name on my arm. But if you can find something you can live with and you're okay with it forever, I think it's great. I think that the human body as a canvas is what's the most interesting canvas of all. Who doesn't like looking at other people? And we all are attracted to looking at faces and bodies, and if you can decorate that thing that we are most interested in, well, that's awesome. Weightlifting Whisperer asked me what is the largest bug that I've ever come in contact with, and I thought about showing you guys, but it was super freaky, so I won't. I have a Goliath beetle that is about, it's big. It's really, really big. And I also have another type of longhorn beetle that is about that long and about that wide. And so big. I really like them though. Anna Whisper Crayon said, what is my favorite song and why? That really depends on the day and my mood. I don't like Nietzsche that much, but he did say one thing that I really like, which is, without music, life is a mistake. And I tend to agree with that. I really like Dax Riggs and all of the bands that he's been in. I really like his voice. He was in Acid Bath and Dead Boy and the Elephant Men, and he's done some solo stuff, and I really like that the best. Lalipuna is a really nice, relaxing band. I like a lot of classical music. Bach is my favorite. A lot of stuff with solo instruments. I don't like big symphonies or operas. I like string quartets or solo piano. I like, yeah, there's a few things that I really enjoy, but right now I really like Lalipuna, and the Velvet Underground is always the top for me as well. I know I'm gonna forget some of them. I mean, I'm forgetting like some of my favorite bands, but that's what it's off the top of my head. Let's see. Amber asked me when was the first time I got ASMR and discovered it, and I actually already covered that. And what are my favorite ASMR triggers? Spraying water, brushing the camera, touching the camera. I didn't like those roleplay videos at first. They really grew on me, especially there's a couple different ones that I really like. Tapping, I really like tapping. Karen asked me what was I like as a child. Smaller. What was I like? And what was my relationship with my parents like? Great. My parents are wonderful. They named me Esmeralda Marina Repspangle. They're pretty cool. My mother's passed away a number of years ago, 6 or 7 years ago, I guess. And my father's he's a poet, and he's a beatnik. He's awesome. He's really smart. He's a walking encyclopedia. You can ask him anything, And if he doesn't have a good answer, he can make something up that sounds like it's true. She asked me where my visual aesthetic developed from. Probably from being a goth for a long time. But then realizing I didn't really like the music that much. And that a lot of the style was really kitschy. I know it helped me in being a goth when I was in middle school and high school, helped me disguise the fact that I was actually a nerd, because as a nerd people made fun of me, and as a goth people steered clear of me. So I chose being a goth to hide my nerdiness. And I think that some of the gothic aesthetic still kind of sticks with me. It's like I can't scrub it off. But I'm also kind of like a hippie and a science nerd, and it's all mixed together. My old friend Gleb asked me what poetry book did I read most recently, and that would be my father's book, Steel Bridge. And it's an extraordinary piece of work. It's amazing. It's so beautiful. Candace asked me, do I do my own nails or do I get them done at a salon? They look awesome. Well, these are solar nails. They're a type of high-grade acrylic. My nails are actually like paper. I bite my nails really badly and they look just like goblin hands. They're hideous without nails. So I have a nice neat lady named Jade who do these for me, and she's amazing. I paint them and I do the art, any art that you'll see on them. But she actually makes my hands look good. Let's see. Jim Verge asked me, what's the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow? No, wait. What is the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow? And the average cruising airspeed velocity of an unladen European swallow is roughly 11 meters per second, or 24 miles an hour. And that's instead of saying, of course, African or European. And any of you who get that, gold star to you. And the very last question was written by my friend from when I was in middle school. He said, what do you do with a drunken sailor early in the morning? And I say, let him sleep in as much as he pleases. That would be the most wise decision. So this was really fun, you guys. Thank you for hanging in with me, and I hope this was enjoyable. I don't normally get on this side of the camera because I don't feel that comfortable showing my face. My self-image is a little weird, so I generally just like being behind the camera. But this was really nice, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Yeah, I've only done one of these, so it's still a little new, but thank you guys.